Yeah, peace and love. Thank y'all for tuning in to the Lord Business Radio Show and conference call. The mission Lord Business is it's under the umbrella of Visionary Leaders as a program. Visionary Leaders, the mission is to eliminate financial and economical illiteracy across the world, preferably within our communities and in our neighborhoods. That being said, this show right here, it was created to engage in dialogue and educate our people and talk about things that privy our community as a means of healing, as a means of capturing therapeutic understandings and insight as we can move forward and deal with healing our people as a whole. Without further ado, tonight's topic is why don't we value one another as far as relationship goes in today's society. That's what we're going to be talking about today, family. And also in mind, like you can be able to access the archives of these shows on our YouTube channel, Visionary Leaders. We'll be joined by our beloved brother Lord Buck. I got a sister Michelle, and also have our brother Samora Tor on, as well as we get into this topic of relationships and our present as relationship goals in our present day society. I mean, for me, I feel like, and this is my humble opinion, like when we talking about relationship, we gotta first evaluate ourselves as an individual first. I know a lot of time we hear society say like two halves coming together make a whole. In my humble opinion, I feel like it got to be two wholes coming together to make a complete cipher. Reason being, because I feel like it's asinine. It's kind of backwards in a sense. We can't really put our love, put our feelings on another person. What I mean by that, we can't look for somebody outside of us to love us more than ourselves. So it's like like that phrase they say, hurt people. A lot of us in poverty-stricken America, downtrodden communities and stuff, we dealing with situations where we passing on hurt, and we looking for one another. We looking for people in our relationship to kind of heal us, make us whole, which I feel like it's not concrete enough in dealing with ourselves. We need to be two whole individuals coming together so we can best create another whole situation as opposed to two halves coming together. So that being said, like, as I digress, I think our brother just came on. How you doing, Lord Buck?
Man, I'm blessed, bro. How are you?
Man, I'm doing all right, brother. They're cranking up the show. Definitely, man. How you feeling? How you say you blessed, man? How you feeling tonight? How you looking at society right now, man?
Well, you know it. Like I say, everything all about perception. And my perception, everything smooth sailing. Just depending on how you look at it. So, like that's why I say I'm always blessed.
Yes, sir, man. And we were just touching on the topic because we kind of put the think tank together. What's your mentality, how you feel dealing with society, like when we get into a relationship, like what's your take on it? Like, and I think our sister that came on too, for us a part of the call. Like, I get into that you get your breakdown, and then we'll bring our sister on. Like, just an overview before we dive deep into this topic.
I mean, I think we got to break down the society, specifically black society, because we got the breakdown of the family, which is the breakdown of the relationship and the breakdown between the black female and the black male. And I think, hey, if black folks ever want to heal and return to their glory, that's what we got to start with. We got to start restoring the family unit. And that's where everything started. Society is built on the house. So you got to start in-house before you can clean up outside.
Indeed. I think that's all, sister. How you doing, sister? Peace and love, I think you live with us too.
I know, I'm gonna get off.
Yeah. How you doing, sir?
I'm sorry, I thought I was on mute. I apologize. I'm good. How are you?
We blessed. We blessed.
Blessed and highly favored. And definitely, I mean, what's your no, I said that to give an overview before we kind of dive into the topic. What's your background? How do you feel? How do you see? And if it is an issue, and as we view today relationship in today's society.
I feel like there's a lot of work to be done and understanding, and it has to be done within the family and without the media influencing it. It has to be under God and in His understanding of what a relationship should be.
Oh, okay. I definitely understood, and I was just meditating on the topic, and I was having a conversation outside with Buck, and we were just talking, and he was just speaking about a situation, not his upbringing, and I was just connecting to that with my life, and I was just looking at a lot of us in society, we ain't really had no perfect example of like what it means, like what a healthy relationship is. And for me, my dad had like a common law type of marriage. I seen him married one time, and I had an auntie tell me she had caught him creeping. I said he was creeping or something like that the following week. I mean, I don't condone. I ain't gonna say I don't condone cheating, but I understand like sometimes our Lord self do and does get the best of ourselves, and that need or that urge to want more. But that being said, not having a perfect example, like what's y'all take? How do y'all feel like not having a perfect example of somebody to look up to, as far as like how we supposed to be doing it, how our relationship's supposed to go, as far as that having an impact on our life when we view relationships?
I personally agree with that. I think that's detrimental because we learn everything from everybody else, from talking to walking and all of that. So as we're growing up, we need those positive influences, and we need people to be in love for real and not for convenience or not because it just seems like the thing to do or for the kids or whatever. And that's what happens a lot of times. We are brought up into these environments that we think is the right way to go instead of seeing, the relationships that are flourishing simply because they fell in love and never fell out. And they work together through everything in the best ways, not through, arguing in front of the kids and fighting and all of that.
Okay. And what about you, Bo?
Hey, what you see in society, the way you see our youth treat our females, and the way you see the older male treat the female, I come from the same culture. It was expected. That's what you learned in the neighborhood. And like I told my homeboy, it took me reading about the different relationships, like Nelson Mandela wouldn't have been done without Winnie Mandela. Betty Shabazz was Malcolm X right arm. Coretta was Martin Luther King. And then beyond that, going back even to Africa, and you was reading about the different queens and the different women. Then you talk about Osetta Shakur, Angela Davis, and all these sisters that were just as instrumental in the black civil rights movement as the men were. And it took me reading and developing a love and appreciation for the sacrifices that them sisters made to change my perception and outlook on how to treat a woman today. So I'm just saying that had a lot to do with where I stand today as far as black women are concerned. That's why I uplift our sisters instead of turning them down, because I learn different. And long as people not teaching their kids and the people don't know, then we'll continue to see what we got today. So in order to do that, like I said, we have to educate our kids on what a real woman is and how to uplift a woman.
Indeed. And I was just and I had shared it with you. I seen this I seen it change, like coming up in the house, and also a lot of one quote the Bible, like that particular scripture, like when you're talking about the virtuous woman, like she's full of herself, she got the image of the Lord. Then in return it says about the man, he's the head of the household, he's like Christ's representation here on earth, so forth and so on. And in today's society, the situation is like this, like it's on a lot of more women make more than a man. Like what I mean by that, like it's on with affirmative action. When that came into a place, the situation was like this in the corporate world, even in the work world. Like a black woman is two minorities in one. She's a black woman and she's a woman, which is two minorities. So in this society, on the legal way, like she can and will make more than a counterpart, than a man. And looking at the situation like this, it's a lot of men that feel, I ain't gonna say dumb, but feel starstruck or feel less of a man if the woman makes more than him. And also on the same token, a woman might feel less, but might value her man less because she make more than him. She might look at him as a child, but that's why you might see brother doing this and that kind of you in competition with your significant other as opposed to building. But far as that, like I can just see different emotions arriving on that. Like what's y'all take on with society and how the roles have changed? Like before, the man was the breadwinner, but in this current society, women are the breadwinner. If we talking about legal and legitimate hustle.
I mean, hey, me personally, I ain't got no problem with my woman making more than me. Because guess what? If she going to work and she making more than me, then I'm going to compensate just as much at home with the household chore. But I feel what you're saying, which, hey, it depends on how you look at it. It might be another ploy from society to destroy the relationship between the black male and the black woman. So, I mean, hey, like I say, it's all about perception. I ain't got no problem with my woman making more than me.
I mean, what's your take on it, so like from your end as a woman? Would you feel a man is less than you? How would you? I mean, don't get me wrong. There is some men out here that strive to take advantage of women in those situations where they don't know about it. They try to take advantage of a woman. Soon as he get on or get himself together, he'll leave that good woman. But as far as just looking at it in general, on a general level, like if that man was sincere and everything was right and you making more than him, like how would you feel in that situation?
In my opinion, no, I would never have less respect for my man because there's other ways that he can assist in the movement and making sure the family stays strong. You know, there may be ways that a woman can benefit from not having to cook as soon as she gets home because her man got off early from his job. It may not pay as much, but he has ways that he can, you know, accommodate that. And when women do that, that's when the power struggle comes in. It's not a power struggle because one is making more money than the other. It's because of the misunderstanding that a person is supposed to be a certain way. That's what I'm saying. Like we have to go outside of the traditional ways of thinking that make us believe that the man is supposed to make more, and if he doesn't, then he's less than a man. They are catering to women now. It's easier for a woman to get by because they're trying to get above that thing where women get paid less than a man doing the same exact job, or women don't deserve the same things because women, statistically speaking, are more educated. There's more women graduating. you know. So it's easier for a woman to get things that a man can't. He may have to do a manual job versus her doing a desk job that makes more money. And, you know, it's just about an understanding that the people have to have in their relationship. They can't let other people decide how their relationship should be based off of the media, like I was saying earlier. This is all about perception based off of everybody else's experiences and understandings and not your own. You have to have God leading your relationship and you all be on the same page and not let anybody distract you from what you want.
Indeed. I definitely empathize and agree with that. And I feel the same way. Like we can't really let the media dictate our viewpoint or how we deal with our relationship, deal with our household. And I'm just opening up that dialogue so we can kind of get a general understanding of what's going on. Like, that's one of the main things I see when I look out in the streets, like we bashing each other. And I ain't just speaking about you, sister, or you, brother, or even myself. I ain't just speaking about ourselves, but I'm just looking at it in the media. Like, even right now, like, they're taking somebody like Carter B. That's a scripper, scripper turned artist, and going padding off of like that Marilyn Monroe situation. Like she was on mystery. You look at somebody like Kim Kardashian, she got on top, but she blessed her family with a situation by making a set tape. Now they family eating out that situation, like became mega millionaires off of I said to you that she had just happened to be in part of it. I ain't just staying on top of it, though, just saying, like, how society kind of shaping our mind and what we dealing with. Like, we dealing with a three-headed monster, and I'm going back, like what our brother was saying, but, like, we definitely got to start back in our household, like, strengthening our household. So we just were talking about the problem. We just speaking about situations, like, going forward. What would be some of the ways or some concept that we can build on in a means to educate people? Like, so you're doing it wrong now, bro. You ain't supposed to be doing this, and like having a conviction. How can we go about creating solutions to these situations?
Man, first it start with respect. It has to be respect between the man and the woman, regardless of each other's shortcomings. We got to respect the fact that we got shortcomings, that we got faults. We have to love each other through thick and thin. Instead of cutting each other off and being so quick to give up on each other, we got to try harder to love. And I think we don't do that enough. It's so much easier to be and to hate and to find ill will towards people. And, hey, we don't try hard enough to love each other. And if we can restore the love or we can restore the respect, then we can move on from that. But that's what it started with, respect.
Mm-hmm. What's your take, sir? And also, to the people that chiming in, too, I'm going to leave y'all calls on mute because I'm working in control. But if y'all wanted to chime in, add some, get into the dialogue, y'all welcome to do so. Just come on in peace and just introduce yourself. And we'll go from there. But in the meantime, like, being respectable, like this a recording line, like if you're not speaking, just keep your phone on mute so we don't get no feedback or background noise in the recording. But outside of that, it's peace and love. But definitely, who was speaking?
We waiting on Sister Michelle to add her view of what's going on between the black male and the black female. How do we get it back?
Indeed. So I think that was her call that dropped.
Yeah.
She probably coming back, but definitely like for me, I ain't really trying to come front saying I'm a relationship expert or nothing like that. in the work I do and the education that I have gotten, like I feel more in touch with psychology and a little bit more understanding and how people think. Like I like not necessarily I like to, but I kind of dwell on like why people think or do certain things they do, and I feel like this a major problem when I look at in our society. Like after slavery, a lot of us suffer from like post-traumatic slave syndrome, and I don't know if y'all familiar or know about a little bit about genes and stuff like that. Not genes that you got on your behind, but genes, you know what I'm saying, in your DNA and stuff like that. Like we can pass illness, we can pass different traits on through our DNA. So it's like what our ancestors that was in and contained, like some of the things they went through, that can be passed on in our DNA. Going back for the finishing of my thought, I feel like a lot of them being passed on or been passed this like submissive, this docile type of mentality in our DNA to the point that it's made us dependent, like even as a people. Like it's like when I love to quote that phrase, like the biblical reference. Like when I was a child, I thought as a child, but once I grew up, I became older. I put away childish deeds and childish things, and looking back, and I mean, even just breaking down that word, like a lot of us in our society, I'm speaking for men, like us as men. Yeah, a lot of us don't really have clear examples of what a man is. How do a man demonstrate? Like a man don't really act in his emotion like that. A man don't really deal in feeling. A man like is more humble. A man is more strong. And looking like they kind of in this society, and we looking at slavery, they kind of took our manhood from us. And even to this day, they continue to do that. Like to find a way to take our manhood from us. So I feel like us on these front line, us as a people, it's like we gotta simplify it. Like we gotta teach these children to be man, like probably. I don't feel like when the father removed out of the household, whether they put him in prison or whether he got to work out 3 of these jobs, and you got TV, social media, and these games raising these children to the point that a lot of children, they grow up, but they don't mentally grow up. So they still, as an adult, they thinking like a child. And it's like toys. Like when you as a child, like I got to get these toys, whether those toys were like Funko toys, like when you was a child, or X-Men, or whatever action figure, but now these toys become like cars, clothes, or even houses, like different toys and stuff like that. I just feel like we just got to grow up mentally, and that being said, like I think our sister did come back on, like giving her so she can kind of give a perspective, understanding on as we do it, digressing, like we was addressing the problem, and now we speaking on like solutions or different methods that we can spread across the airways to help our people utilize their tools to strengthen relationships. And one of us, like we can have relationships and not necessarily be sexual relationships. And a lot of times in our society, you look at relationships as somebody you talking to. But that being said, we gonna I think our sister did come back. Lord, sister Michelle. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, can y'all hear me now? I'm just saying. I think our sister did come back to the line.
Yes, I can hear you. It was just a little staticky.
Oh, okay. It's clearer now?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I got these headsets on. I gotta make sure I keep the mic piece close to my mouth. And sometimes I just being conscious that I do speak with an accent, so y'all bear with me. I know it might sound like damn, what the hell that country dude talking about, man? But I do speak with an accent, and it can be heavy. So I was trying to I'm trying to enunciate my words clearer so everybody can hear right. But come on, you got the floor, Sister Michelle. Like, what's your take on opening the dialogue for solution?
A solution to what you were just speaking on about men not being men?
No, solution. Like
Oh.
I was just trailing off on that topic. I mean, you can address that, but I was just trailing off that topic until you came back to the line. But the solution to the situation, strengthening our relationship that we had left out, we had heard from Buck, but it was your turn to speak, and I think your call had dropped.
Mhm. Okay, so in my opinion, the solution needs to be conversation, communication. It needs to be an understanding within and not based off of everybody else. That's the best part to me. Communication is the key, honesty and trust.
Okay.
So many times we get caught up in trying to, I'm sorry, I'm in the hospital, trying to appease everyone else's needs and desires, and we lose out in our own relationships because we're living in the moment of pleasing everyone else instead of what our own relationship needs.
Okay. You finna come in, Buck?
Nah, I was just going to say that me and Sister Michelle, we were talking the other day, and we was talking about, my brother had said that we need to address the fact that women say that all men are dogs, and that a man couldn't be a dog without the participation of a woman, and that there are no good men out there. When if you do get a good man, you're not going to do nothing but dog him out and try to train him, and he'll end up being the type of man that he never set out to be. And then, like I said, so I think we need to address that issue. And Sister Michelle was saying that she don't believe that all men are dogs and that there ain't no good men out there. She say she just believes that women pick the wrong men. So I'm just saying, I think that's the root cause. We need to attack the root cause. Why women feel the way they feel about men and why men feel the way they do about women. That all women are bitches and hoes or whatever, or that they just meant to be tools. And I think if you attack the root issue, then you can move on from that.
And your humble opinion, like, I mean, I'm gonna ask myself this question, but I'm gonna go around the room. Like, in your humble opinion, like, what do you feel is the root cause?
Well, I don't know. Hey, look, I'm just keeping it real, because, look, man, my mama was one of the best wives in the world. My mama did everything for her husband. Then she had an ugly husband. But dude took her, hey, real talk, he took her home. Man, my mama did everything. She cooked, she cleaned, she worked, ran his bath water, dressed him and everything. And he still cheated on my mama, still jumped on my mama. Some of the worst whoopings he used to give my mama was when his friends come around. Like, they validate his manhood about jumping on my mama in front of his friends. And the way I treat a woman, I would always say to myself when I came up that I would never treat a woman the way my mama got treated. Just to see my mama crying to me and my brothers, and we was powerless to help her, and didn't nobody else offer to help her or none of that, because all the whoopings that her husband used to give her, none of dude friends would intervene and try to break it up or help my mama or none of that. So I just decided, man, I'd never treat a woman the way my mama got treated. So that's just it for me. That's just why I treat women different.
Indeed. So it's like a solution within yourself. Like, I mean, that's powerful right there. Like, that's just like how somebody saying that they dad went down in their life and they have a child. Then I'm going to be there for my son. So it's like you breaking that cycle. So I definitely salute that. Like, and I can understand what you're saying. Like, that's your root, like, coming from where you coming from your perception. Like, what about you, sister? Like, what do you feel like is the root?
I think in the times that we're living in, it's about, a lot of people are more interested in the no strings because it's easier, it's not as much work, less responsibility, it's just simple. you know. So I think that's where a lot of it's coming from. The names that you mentioned earlier that they call women. But I know it's a lot of men who respect black women and women as a whole, and, you know, they see them as queens because they hold themselves down as queens. They present themselves to be the woman that deserves that label, you know. The women who don't, they've already been broken and hurt and abused, and they feel like, okay, well, I'll be a man-eater now so it won't happen again.
Okay. So like that cycle, repeating that cycle for you, like at the root, definitely understand that as well. Like for me, and I was just thinking about the root. I was just asking myself, like, what could be the root, or from my perspective, while you guys were speaking, and I really couldn't come up with nothing. Then it just hit my mind, like, I do a lot of people, like even with even looking at my relationship and looking at my father relationships and stuff like that, and I just came down with this simple root. Like I feel like sex is a root. I'm just talking about the act of having sex. I feel like sex is a drug, and I'm just speaking humbly, like in my own opinion. Like that's a drug, like cocaine, like crack, like dope. Like once you, like a lot of times, even in society, how they promote sex on TV, like how they say sex sells, like a lot of, I mean, I lost my virginity like at age 13 or something like that, probably even younger, playing high and go get out here on the grounds and stuff like that. But ever since then, it was like it became a drug, and it kind of put that in my mind, like, like, you know what you, like when you addicted to something like a drug, it's like you see Pookie, like from New Jersey City, like he was snitching for all the drug. He was selling TVs and stuff like that. You got some people doing all this to get that crack and stuff like that. And for the drug, like sex being a drug, for that drug, like a brother willing to lie to a woman or tell her all kind of things to boost her ego, saying that giving her false hope, false promises, all just to get what's between her legs, like to get her jaw between her legs. And I feel like for me, just looking at it like that, I feel like sex is a drug. Like a lot of in the black community, like we experienced losing our virginity at an early age, and that just kind of ended up on that cycle. I don't know how it works for women. I'm just speaking from a man. Like once we caught that first one or whatnot, it kind of just came down there. Everything was just kind of geared toward, like, you know, like I got to get some more of this. No matter sometimes, like at a young age, it was like how you said, how you just put it, so it's like with that no strings attached. Sometimes as a man, that with that being a drug, that might just be all we want. I mean, it's wrong, and from a moral perspective, but it's like, how do we combat that, or how do we, like, you can't, like, once you done lost that as a man, like, I'm just speaking for myself as a man, once I lost my, I couldn't turn it off. I couldn't turn it off. Like, I needed that like water sometimes, and sometimes I would give to lying and doing something that I thought I wasn't gonna do, like when I got in that nympho mentality. But that being said, the more I got older, the more I'm digressing. I understand feelings. I understand soul tie. But that's just something that just had to happen for me. I had to go through that whole period of understanding that, like the soul tie, the pain and stuff. And that was just my understanding on that. That's what I feel. I don't know, just in my opinion, I feel like that's the root for me, looking at it.
Peace and love to the body.
Peace.
This is Lady Shanika.
Okay. Peace and love, sir.
I think we have to go back to our toleration and
your phone going in and out. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I was saying I think we have to go back to our toleration and know that we are a reflection of the things that we see and the things that we allow, or goes back to the things that we see our parents go through. So we as parents, when raising our children, we have to show them what it's meant to be, to have the true meaning of love and all those things, even if the situation is bad. Because I have 2 boys and I have 3 girls, so I have 5 kids. And my boys are gentlemen at all costs. And they would never put anyone through what they seen their mother go through. And the same thing for my girls. They're ladies. So, and it's what we require out of one another that matters. Like, if you got your standards low, then you're going to get low. So it's all about what you tolerate and what you accept in your life. And the things as well, for us as parents, is what we teach and what we put out there for our children. We don't have to be together to raise children who love and respect one another. So if your son and your daughter grows up being called bitches and hoes and hearing that come from their mother and their father, then guess what? That's what we creating and that's what we putting out there, and that's what they're going to do.
Indeed. You was just taking a pause, sister, or you was just completing your thoughts?
I'm done.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate your input, and definitely appreciate that adding on, and that just kind of confirming or kind of going back 360 with what we were just speaking about, and it definitely always good to hear another person's perspective on everything, and really it's like we do, like it just, what you saying and kind of what the other sister and the other brother was saying, it kind of echoing, like, I hate this phrase that I always hear, like when you little, when one was little, you'll hear might be parents or elders say, do as I say, not as I do, something like that, something to that extent. But it's like we learn more from the thing we see. We learn more from the thing that we conscious of. Like a lot of things that we just so have, they kind of get implanted in our psyche from the thing that we seen our parents do or our guardians do, and it just kind of find its way in our subconscious to the point that we end up doing some of those same things. But when we conscious of those things, we conscious that they wrong. It's like we strive, like we break that cycle, like the bro Buck was saying, like we got to break that cycle. And as we kind of digressing into a solution, like how do we, with the media, like our biggest, I love some of the things in the media, but I feel like the media is our biggest downfall in a sense, like the way they portray relationship, or the way they portray like the black family and stuff like that, kind of like that negative stuff, like they got us in a negative light. Like when you get the phrase like bitches and whole niggas and pimps and stuff like that, we kind of glorify that, like in the media. And far as like
concept, beloved, that you require in your household for your children. I mean, because at the end of the day, if being a parent, you require the things to do, then you letting social media raise your children and not you.
Indeed.
I mean,
don't misconstrue me. Like, I mean, I'm kind of hosting, like, again, like the devil's advocate type of perspective. Like a lot of things I'm conscious of that. Like even with my stepkids or kids or whatnot, I'm real disciplined, but I'm just speaking. I'm just kind of getting that devil's advocate in the way I'm delivering this topic. So some of the things I'm conscious of, but as far as like I'm just speaking in a sense, because it will be recorded, it will be on YouTube. So people can kind of hear the responses and understand them from our different perspective, as opposed to everything just being one-sided. And I definitely agree. Like, we can't let social media and the media raise our kids. But when we looking at society right now, I mean, I'm not in this situation myself, but when I look at brothers and sisters, like, you got this 17, 16-year-old with, like, 3 kids and stuff like this, and that can be a male or female, but he at that point where he want to go to college, he or she want to go to college, and sometimes the grandparent might be there, sometimes they don't. Well, they might be working 24/7 just to take care of their kids, and that's all they got. Like, that's all the kid got. Like, they'll kind of look forward to either the streets raising them, or they end up in a situation where they got these game systems or social media or the web, like, raising them. So it's like we got to deal with those as well. I remember even when I was coming up, we had mentoring programs, a lot of mentoring programs, even like some of the churches cared back then. You had a lot of evangelist type of program where you had weekend Bible study, summer camp, stuff like that. I don't see them like as prevalent as they was when I was in my youth. I'm just putting these conversations from my inside out there, so there's a way to kind of see what we got to do. Like, we can strengthen our situation, like, in a way, I feel like conversation is therapeutic. Like, I feel like we should, like, having these conversations will help somebody that's not vocal right now, but they might be listening like a fly on the wall. Like, it might help them. Like, you know what, I went through that same thing. Now I know how to deal with it, because I heard the sister say it. And I'm just speaking from that aspect and perspective. But definitely, and I ain't trying to hog the mic. And also, like I said, like with the other callers, a lot of callers on the line. If y'all wanted to speak or wanted to add into the callers, come on in, introduce yourself, and we'll receive you with open arms. But outside of that, you still with our Lord Buck.
Yeah, I'm still here, bro. Had my phone muted.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's an interesting topic, though. But it's to the point now where we have to take drastic measures, man, because y'all see our culture. We is messed up as a people. And every caller on this line under the sound of my voice know that. And it's going to take all of us together to bring us back to where we supposed to be, man. If not, boy, hey, I'll tell you, boy, it look like we on our last leg.
We might need to borrow somebody's leg, man.
Man, for real. We got to take drastic measures. And everybody on this line got something to add to the topic. Man, everybody, man, lay out what we think that we can do to fix this. Because it can be fixed. Same way it got broke, it can get fixed.
Hello?
Yeah, peace and love.
Peace and love. It's Shorty Roy.
Oh, okay, come on.
Peace and love, bro.
Peace and love. Peace and love to the black, to all the brothers and sisters who's listening to the show. I've been sitting here, I've been listening to the dialogue. You know, you asked what's the solution, you know, some of the solutions that we can implement to kind of change the culture and bring this thing back to the essence of what it's supposed to be, you know. And I just wanted to say that doing what we're doing right now, creating a dialogue, creating a plateau or a platform where some of these words and these thoughts and these ideas and these visions can be felt, can be heard, you know, where they can take root in fertile minds, you know what I'm saying? Because thoughts and words and ideas is like seeds, and you plant these seeds in soil, you feel me? In the mind, it's like soil, you feel me? So with media outlets just like this, you know what I'm saying, just like this, what's going on right now, and you're going to post this show on YouTube and other places, you know what I mean, wherever you choose to post it, but this is where it starts from. Right here, this is the solution. what we're doing right here. And I think that we have to do this as a whole collectively, to really bring about change. Because in order to do different, we have to think different. In order to do different, you must think different. Because if we keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, we're going to keep getting the same results. So it starts with a change of the mentality of our people as a whole. You see what I'm saying? So we have to be able to initiate these type of conversations, without being so preachy. We have to be able to speak to each other in this day and age, We have to be able to swap perspectives, concepts, and ideas, you dig? And be able to relate to the people. And in dealing with our children, I feel like it starts within our household because, as you yourself were saying, bro, it's a lot of things that the kids see now that shapes and influences their concepts toward women and men. You know what I'm saying? Look at the music we listen to, and we allow our shorties to listen to. You feel me? Like I can remember back in the days growing up in the 80s, you know what I'm saying? Mama and them, you couldn't listen to Too Short. You feel me? You had to sneak and listen to that. You know what I'm saying? You had to sneak and listen to the cussing and the fussing. You know what I'm saying? So nowadays, all the kids know all the lyrics to the nasty music. You feel me? And the bitches and the hoes and the demeaning and the vulgar. You dig? And nowadays it's just part of the culture that we allow to happen. You know what I'm saying? So like I just feel like we just need to start. We need to have more of these type of conversations and make it cool to have these type of conversations and these type of dialogues. And I feel like if we can do this as a whole, then it'll reach the people. It'll reach the people, and we'll and individually and collectively we'll start making the necessary changes in our household and abroad to see some type of beneficial change.
Wow, brother! Like they hear you speak, man. That I didn't want to see it back into it. Like sometimes, like when we talking, like you, like what you just said, like definitely I agree and empathize, like with these platforms, like, but also, and then did too, like the delivery, like sometimes, like I see people talking, hear people talking, like they'll sound weak, like I ain't calling a brother or sister weak, but in the way they deliver it, but when you seriously believe something in the way you speak that to a brother, you speak that to a sister, like we gotta continue to talk with our people, talk to our people, as opposed to talking at them. Like it's a different, and just hearing how you speak, like you would. I know you were probably talking to everybody on the line, but I felt like you were talking to me, like the way the energy you came across, like that's how we got it. Like when we talking to one, like we got to come about with that same energy, like. That energy, that positive energy, I feel like it'll just move somebody. Like, man, you know what, man? I gotta do better.
Truly,
like, and I definitely agree with you, bro.
Truly, bro. I am you and you are me. And I feel like
mighty.
these things affect us all. And I just feel like, I have this type of conviction because I was that child. You know what I'm saying? Like when Buck was talking about the domestic violence that he had in his household, I grew up in domestic violence. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in drug abuse. I grew up in alcoholism. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in all these things as well, and these are the things that plague our community. You know what I'm saying? When I hear Sister Shamika talking, you know what I'm saying? When I hear Sister Michelle talking, I'm a product of all these ills. You feel me? All of these things, that we face within our community, man. So, like, here it is, our generation now. If you're 30 or over 30, you know what I'm saying? Like, this generation, you know what I'm saying? Like, we are the pioneers of our culture and our generations right now, you know what I'm saying? So we got to do what we got to do, man, to raise our shorties and change the mentality, So, like, I love this. This right here, I love this, man. And we just need more of it. We need more of it. And I feel like we just can't
get on these lines and have lip service. You feel me? Like, I remember the first Million Man March, Mr. Farrakhan said, well, okay, when we leave here, what are we going to do? When you come back next time, have a list of some of the things that you have actually done. You feel me? Not the things that we just talked about here at the march, because this is just one thing. But what have you done when we came back to the next one? You see what I'm saying? So we can't just be on these lines with lip service. We have to make it translate into action. You know what I'm saying? And even if it's just a little bit, even if it's just a little bit, man, success is not measured in just miles. It takes those inches to get to those miles, So, like, when we get off these lines, we all just need to do our part. If it's just a little bit, man, let's just do our part, and our little part helps as a whole.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we coming up on a little milestone. We got like 10 minutes left in the show, and like that kind of I know you weren't asking no question, brother, but they will be on YouTube though. Like you can just type in the Lord's Business Radio Show. You can find out all the previous show that we had done, and recently we just changed the platform from Blog Talk Radio to this platform right now, which is cheaper. Blog Talk Radio wanted like $40 a month, like with this secure line right here, we only paying $5 a month, so and you still get an unlimited amount of callers. So different platform, but it's still serving the same purpose. But like we coming back around, like we got like 10 minutes, like for closing remarks, and definitely like we doing this every 2 weeks. Eventually we gonna crank it up, probably going back to every week. But right now they're gonna be every 2 weeks, and we done recruited like Lord Buck for the co-host position. Like, bro, gonna be on here every show we got, and man, has just been building, and we gonna be taking it to a different height, and that's a powerful brother in itself. Like,
that's beautiful.
Yeah. So, Lord, you wanna come in for closing remark, Lord Buck?
Nah, I would just really like to add that my book Pure American Greed is out on Amazon, and we would we would like people to support that. And Sister Arthur L. Michelle D. book Down on His Luck should be available, and we would like everybody to support that as well. We trying to change the game with this pen, and like I said, that's another platform too. So the more we reach, the stronger our voice will be through that genre. Mm-hmm. That's about all I have to say. I enjoyed the dialogue, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Indeed, man. Like, man, bro, was just having a conversation, like, about the work I was doing, like, yeah, I'm contacted. I do website logos and flyers and stuff like that myself, and man, the bro was just having a conversation, and I was like, I got to get this brought up. We got to revamp this show. Like, we got to do it like this, and came up with that type of, man, there's going to be more serious shows coming up in the future, man. Me personally, I look forward to this, and like it is, it is some people on there on lines as well. It's a lot of people on call list. Like, if y'all just wanted to come in and speak your piece, you know what I'm saying, let your voice be heard, they come on in, and before we get ready to close the thing out today. Everybody speak at once, or twice, or 3 times.
Gennaro.
Y'all hear me?
Gennaro.
What's up? Yes, sir.
All right, yeah, he said anybody got to speak, go ahead. He just brought him out. That's how you do it, bro. Oh, man.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, my name is Gennaro, man. I'm Buck's brother, man, and I'm just here to just speak on behalf of the things that I have been hearing while I was, I just drove back to where I'm at right now, but I was just listening. Then my girl is on the phone, and we were just listening in. And a lot of the things y'all spoke on, you know, I wish I could have spoken on at the time that they were being spoke about, because, like, even speaking on, like, certain things that was asked, when my brother brought up certain subjects and stuff, thinking about how men are in this category and such as things like that, and what about, you know, where the change come in and things like that. When it comes to stuff like that, where the change come in is morals. And you get, like, the way of the world now, it's hard to it's the morals are really gone out the house, because once you know, I just did 18 years in prison, and after being rehabilitated and changed mentally in there, and then to come out here and being able to have a vantage point to view and perceive life different from anybody else, you see things that's not normal. You see things out of the ordinary, period. You peep out everything, the small details to the greatest. And it's no more morals in the house. Once the baby is born and you teach the baby how to be potty trained and all that, and it's nothing else. You know what I'm saying? Where when I say that, like, I thank God for the girl I got now, because, you know, I got her when she was young, and, you know, like, she still working on me. Like, it's not no easy adjustment out here. You know, the major support system is a big key factor. But at the same time, to sit and grow up in the house, coming in the house, you know, just being in my girl house, the way she raised her son, she knows how she came up. She was, you know what I'm saying, ridiculed, and, you know what I'm saying, coming in the adoption agencies and things like that, and she know what she don't want her son to go through and things like that. And she doing a good job. Morally, you know what I'm saying, he coming up with morals and all that. You know, he watch YouTube just like the average child, but at the same time, there's a certain thing he can't watch. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I got out, the first day I got out, I was at my little brother's house. They got a 70-inch screen TV. All my nieces and nephews, all the young cousins, all the kids. The music came on YouTube. They eventually popped in YouTube. All of them dance music. All of them. I'm talking about the boys. When I first came, I told all the boys in the family, y'all some little pancakes with extra baking powder. All the boys saw they want to dance. They can dance better than the females and stuff like that. So, you know, I got into it with my sister at Christmas. And I let people know, you know, I was held accountable, but because they say I was letting my nieces and nephews and all them curse. I told them like this. I ain't let them do nothing. I just didn't stop them. Y'all can't wait for me to do 18 years to come home and do the parenting that y'all didn't do. But it started with morals. Here it is. The way of the world out here, you get men. You get so many men having sex with so many women, because the women ain't got morals no more. There's no more standards. The women feel like, instead of the man feeling like, shoot, man, that's another notch on my belt, man. Shoot, I knocked her off. I knocked her off. Shoot, the women feel like that too. The women feel like that now. Nah, shoot, nigga, they a notch on my belt. It ain't no more morals. Period. So until a woman teach her, it's just like, well, I'm not gonna speak on nation business, but until the woman can raise up a different child, ain't that gonna happen. I say, you know, total extermination. I say gather up everybody with a corrupt man and just lost in the South and exterminate them. Because everybody, what a change. It ain't no be a change with the same people. Sure.
Indeed.
You just can't go in the hood, a person 40 years old set in his ways. You can't go in there and say, I want you to do this. They listen to a radio station, well, this is what we should do. It's just like going to church. The preacher gave a good sermon. The choir was real good. You in the spirit. Yeah, I feel good. You so joyous. But what about Tuesday evening when all that's gone? What you going to do then? I'm talking about everything we speak about on the phone, it sounds good tonight. But what we going to do tomorrow evening? We're going to go back to what we're doing until the same thing come around to next Sunday when the radio station part come back on. Hey, let's take action. Here it is. I just did 18 years in prison. I just performed at the Arkansas State Fair. I performed at the Race for the Cure. I'm a national recording artist now. I do country music. I got an awesome support system. But at the same time, even without the support system, I know where I want to be. I know where I've been to. I watched the cartoon Cars years ago. And the race car Mater, Lightning McQueen, he was chasing this tow truck. This is like a cartoon, animated cartoon. He was chasing them through a tree line. But the tow truck was going backwards through the tree line using his side mirrors as a guy, but he was going full speed, dipping through the trees. I'm talking about dipping. And the race car following him, but he facing him. And he's scared for him. He's like, whoa, man, watch you going? Man, that dude said something that touched me, and I'll never forget it. He said, watch you going? He said, I don't have to watch where I'm going. As long as I know I'd already been. Man, that's what
Indeed. And definitely, bro, we appreciate you coming in and speaking, De Niro.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. I'll be checking y'all out on YouTube and all that. I'm also on YouTube. I'm on YouTube, Instagram. My music on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, Apple, Tidal, everything. You know what I'm saying? You can just type in "Our Little Country" or De Niro Cook, and you'll see a natural chorus out of baby.
That's what's up. I'm definitely gonna check out. But I think I already have though, since I met your bro about a couple of months. Probably more than a couple months ago. He been bragging. He speak highly of you. So I know you, but I don't know you. But I know of you. You know what I'm saying? It's still family.
Yeah, that's what's happening. Yeah, I'm trying to do it all out here. I'm in truck driver school right now as we speak. I'm sitting in the parking lot. For real. I'm trying to get it all by all means. Man, prison ain't for me. I did it while I had to do it. But it's more to life than this, man. I want to be financially stable. I don't want my, the two of my brothers, make it to where I'm at. I don't want, I don't want to ask somebody else and depend on somebody else to let them down. I got him. And I just want to show every brother and sister that's incarcerated that, man, we don't have to get out and be relegated to the same strata that we in the stigma that we labeled at. Shoot.
Indeed. So, man, we about to get ready to close this thing out. It's going to be on YouTube tomorrow. Most definitely. I'm going to send brother link so he going to spread it out to one. But I'm definitely going to post it on the Visionary Leaders site. But I'm going to close out with an alpha tier. Like, if y'all know it, you know what I'm saying, y'all going to definitely recite along. Without further ado.
Who? Close out with the Fatiha?
Yeah. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most gracious. Thee do we worship, thine is sleep. So this great way, the way of those who portion is not a wrath and not gone, not astray. Amen.
Amen. And I would like to hit it. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ibn Suratal Mustaqim. Sirata an'amta alayhim. Ghayril maghdubi alayhim. Waladolin. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. That's so hard.
Man, I enjoyed the show, y'all.
Yeah, me too.
Came in a little late, but I enjoyed the show. Man, Buck, y'all was very eloquent, you and Sus, and everybody that spoke, and y'all had a very interesting topic dealing with the men and the women, man. Keep that energy flowing, keep that bubbling, man. It's popping, Man, it's dopeness.